Welcome to my National Podcast. Let's get into it. Today is Patreon Day. And it's not only the Patreon Day, but it is the free December Patreon episode. So, all y'all beautiful peoples is going to get this episode for today, on today's beautiful Friday. Oh, man, as 2024 is wrapping up and we get into 2025, man, oh man, this year's felt like it has shot on by. Goodness gracious. Can't wait for the next year. Can't wait for another glorious year doing this show for you guys, man. But without further ado, though, let's get on into it. And we got our first scenario, we got our thread for today. Forgot how this show goes for some reason. Goodness. All right. What is one of the creepiest things you have witnessed a girlfriend/boyfriend has done? All right, so what's the creepiest thing you've witnessed a girlfriend or boyfriend do? I dated this girl for a couple weeks and it wasn't working out, just too different. I broke it off with her and she was cool with it. Ran into her and her parents at the local bowling alley and we all bowled together for a couple of hours. She started getting close to me like she wanted to get back together, but I told her no. So she walks up to her mom and tells her I tried to grape her. No. Mom looks at me, looks at her, and slapped her, not hard, but fairly solidly, and tells her they are not going through all that bullshit again. No. Thankfully, her parents knew she was nuts and had played the grape card before on some other guy. No. No, that means that she has said some dude has raped her. They probably went into like a whole court thing. You know, they got lawyers, all this stuff, just to find out she was lying. Wow. And her parents were like, not today, bitch. Like, damn. Woo. That's crazy. All right, what's the creepiest thing that you've seen a boyfriend/girlfriend do? I had a boyfriend who would call me drunk and mutter nasties in my ear while holding normal conversation. It would go a little like this. Hey, baby, how was your night? Oh, I went to Brad's. Pant, fuck yeah, and we drank a couple of beers. You like it in the butt. Okay, I later found out he wasn't beating his meat and was actually having sex with another girl and somehow got off on cheating on me. What the fuck? So homeboy was just like, he was actively having sex with another girl, and then he called his girlfriend and was just like, yo, what's up? What's going on, girl? What you doing? Like, what the fuck?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's crazy. That's crazy. My man was just like, I want to get caught cheating. Like, you know what I mean? He was just like, nah, this whole like cheating behind her back stuff ain't exciting enough. It's not exciting enough. I need to have the full on, like, yo, that's kind of wild. But man, my man was just like, nah, I don't want to play with fire. I want to play with C4 plastic explosives. That was his life. God. One of my ex-girlfriends kept a long book of every single text message I ever sent her. Not just the meaningful ones, but incredibly insane ones too. A whole book full of handwritten and dated notes like, okay, I'm on my way. Wow. I mean, you could, your phone kind of, does that for you. You know what I mean? Like, your phone kind of does that for you. Like, I guess. I mean, shit. I guess maybe it was a little more meaningful to her that way. But still, I would think that would just be a lot of work, to write down every single text message and date it and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, I want to have receipts for real. She was like, you can't say nothing about me, because if you do, I got the receipts. Man, what's one of the creepiest things that a boyfriend or girlfriend has done? I tried to break up with this girl once and she started shrieking. Then she pulled her fridge away from the wall, crawled behind the fridge, and loudly sobbed from behind it while I called my mom and waited for her to pick me up. I was 15. We dated for 3 months.
Bruh.
That's crazy. How the fuck was she that strong to pull her refrigerator from the wall and get behind it and start crying? Like, bro, I get it. You know, you're a teenager and you think the world is going to end, you know, because your relationship is over. But, bruh, why? Why go to those kind of lengths? That's maddeningly crazy. She said, I'm going to pull my refrigerator from the wall and I'm going to hide behind it and just scream, cry. Like, what the fuck? If I was him, I would start walking home. I'd be like, Mom, yeah, just pick me up on the way. Like when you're driving towards your house, you'll see me walking, you know. I'm not staying in this house. You're fucking crazy. What the hell? And they only been dating for 3 months. She was probably one of those chicks where, like, she said, I love you, you know, the second day of dating type shit. Yeah, you could tell she was one of those. All right. What is the creepiest thing you've had a boyfriend or girlfriend do? Once I had a girl carve my name on her arm. Wasn't my girlfriend, someone who had a little obsession, though. Wow. I mean, you know, it would be cute if it was like in marker or something, you know, it's like, oh, haha, but no, she got a razor blade and was just like, we're going to be together forever. You and me, always and forever. Like, bruh, imagine, like, she's older now, you know, in her 20s, and you meet her and she's got some dude's name scarred into her arm, and you're just like, oh, well, yeah, man, like, man, I'm just saying, imagine trying to date that girl and you see that. I don't know if I could do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would try to some degree to understand, like, she did that in high school. You know, she was a little crazy. Now she's a different person. But, bro, I don't know. Oh, damn. That's absolutely crazy. Like I said, I understand, you know, if you did it with a marker or something, that's cute. That's whatever. You got a little crush. But you taking a razor blade to that shit? Bro, that's going to fuck up your future relationships. All right. What is the creepiest thing you've seen a boyfriend or girlfriend do? Dated this guy for maybe 3 weeks. Damn. He ended up carving my name into his leg. What the fuck, bro? Okay, this must be a trend. Then searing the skin so he'd have the scar forever. I broke up with him that very minute. Fucking crazy. I hear he's a dealer now. Awesome. Well, my man's he went from scarring girls' names into his leg to dealing drugs. God damn. You really know how to pick them, don't you, girl? God. Like, bro. Oh, my God. That is absolutely ridiculous. I guess this is a trend is what I'm thinking, because I've never heard anybody scarring themselves, like, you know, carving somebody's name into themselves. Like, bro, that to me is kind of, that's going overboard. I mean, like, I would say it's crazier than the people who get tattoos of somebody's name, because at least the tattoo, it's professionally done, you know, and this is kind of a normal procedure. But like, you scarring yourself, like, that's doing too much. Absolutely doing too much. All right. What is one of the creepiest things you have seen a boyfriend or girlfriend do? So you're asking me if any of my old girlfriends have ever rubbed my jizz on a page of their scrapbook that they may preserve my essence posterity. Nope, can't say that they have. What? This chick had a scrapbook with your jizz in it. Your crusted up nut was in her scrapbook. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine you just nutting a girl and then she just like digs her hand in her coochie and then she's just like, cool, and she gets a book and she's just like, psh, yep, saving that page, and she like puts your name on it and everything. You're like, bro. And then imagine if like you're not the only one that like she's got other pages of other dudes. That would be wild, man. That would be like like that's a black book right there. God damn. You know how like I don't know if it used to be a trend or whatever, but you know they would like get, you know, condoms with the dude's nut in it and they would like tape it in a book or whatever. You know, she was just like, nah, I'm just gonna have the dried up nut on a page. That's crazy. I would be like, wow. I would only break up with her if there's like other dude's nut in this book, and now if it's just mine, we kind of chilling. What? Imagine if she had other books though, you know, like this is just your book. And then like there's a shelf and she's got a bunch of other books. Like, oh yeah, this is Johnny's book. This is Dave's book. This is Carl's book. You know, there's your book. And it's like, yo, hey, where y'all meeting these chicks? I ain't gonna lie to you. Where y'all meeting these people? Because man, this is just obscenely like overboard, you know, like there's you know, being I don't want to say obsessed, but just there's being into your partner, and then there's just like being actually batshit crazy, you know. All right, what is one of the creepiest things you have seen a boyfriend or girlfriend do? He stalked me for more than 2 years because Jesus told him he needed to save me. Restraining orders do not work on crazy. That's wild. That's wild. To sit there and say that Jesus wanted me to do this is wild. That's probably the craziest thing I've ever heard somebody say. I've never really heard somebody, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been a lot of times where we've had, you know, some religious folks do some wild and crazy things on this show and share it. But the fact that he said that Jesus wanted me to follow you, it's like, bruh. And save her from what? That's what I'd like to know. Save her from what, my guy? What are you saving her from? Because I think you're the one that she needs to be saved from, if anything. Hey, dude. Come on, man. What in the hell are we doing here? Yeah. All right, what is one of the creepiest things you've seen a boyfriend or girlfriend do? I dated this real winner once. I met him, when I met him, he lived in a house, had a job, and just seemed to be a stoner. Okay. By the end of our relationship, he was jobless, homeless, and had gone to jail for my honor or some creepy shit like that. Wait a minute. So this man, he had a house, I'm sure a good job, but he just smoked weed. And for some reason, he dated you, and in dating you, it just ruined his life for her honor, apparently, or some creepy shit like that. He beat his roommate up with a lead pipe because he thought the guy had the hots for me or something. Totally unfound. Anyways, the real creepy part comes after he got out of jail. He still thought we were together and would go camp out in my backyard when I wasn't home and sleep there, as in he would pester my roommates into letting him into the backyard and sleep there. I'm still stuck on the fact that he had a house, he had a job, you know, he was a successful guy. And then all of a sudden he's just like, you know what? Fuck being successful. I got a girl now. I'm good. Straight chilling. I can go be a fucking loser now. Like, what? That's what blows my mind. Like, bro, if I got a good job, I got me a house, and I'm doing good for myself, and I get me a girl, I would want to do more. I would, you know, I'm like, cool. Like, I'm gonna be striving to be more successful now. Like how my girl went, I'm trying to get me a future going. Like, what the fuck? How the hell are you homeless? So that means he lost his house because he just stopped paying on it. He got fired from his job. And then he just decided, I'm just going to follow this girl to the end of time. He beats up some dude that's supposed to be his roommate. Like, goes to jail, gets out of jail. Crazy enough, he thinks that they're still together. Like, what in the lemony snickets of crazy events is going on? Like, bro, how does this happen? How do you go from a well put together individual to batshit insane? Like, what the fuck? I'd love to know. I'd love to question that guy. Like, bro, how did this happen? What were you doing? Like, what drove you to insanity? You know what I mean? Was this girl's coochie, just some gateway drug to you or what? Like, dude, I don't understand it. My man got him some punani, and all of a sudden he just was like, yeah, this destroyed my life. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That is just insane. Man. Okay. What is one of the creepiest things you've seen a boyfriend, girlfriend do? We were on Skype one night and I wanted to go to bed. This had apparently meant that I was going to cheat on her or some shit. I don't know. The bitch was crazy. Anyway, she yells a little, then grabs a knife and starts shrieking while rocking back and forth, cutting herself on webcam while crying.
Bruh.
What? What? Bro, you were dating a possessed demonic woman. There is no fucking way we could just be having a casual conversation and then I'm just like, all right, babe, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. I love you. And then she's just like, oh, you just want to cheat on me. Oh, you just want to see your other bitch, don't you? Wait, no, babe. I'm literally about to fall asleep. I'll text you in the morning. No, you just want to do something else. You just want to see that bitch, don't you? It's like, bro, imagine seeing that on your phone. Just some chick rocking back and forth with a knife in her hand and she's just rubbing it against her fucking arm. Oh, bro. Yeah, I would be so I would be like, I will stay on the phone with you then. It's fine. I'll fall asleep and you can watch me sleep through the phone. Like, is that okay? Is that what you want? I would be terrified. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be terrified because I would be thinking, like, if I fall asleep, then she's going to come to my house and, like, rub a knife on my face and be like, sleep, my prince. Just standing over you. You wake up and she's just looking crazy over you and she's got a knife to your face and you're just waking up like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And she's just like, oh, I'm just making sure that you're sleeping well. Like, bruh, nah. There's no way in hell. I'd have to get the police to lock her up or something because there's no way in hell I would continue dating that girl. But and the thing is I would be so afraid to continue dating her, to break up with her, because I feel like if you're doing this in our relationship, imagine what she'll do with us broken up. Imagine if you start talking to another girl, she would try to kill that girl. She would just be like, bitch, you stole my man. You forced him to break up with me. You convinced him to leave me. She comes out of nowhere with a fucking crossbow and shit. You're at dinner. Fucking arrow just comes into the table. You know what I mean? That fucking arrow's on fire and it's setting the table and ablaze and shit. And you're just like, yo. And she's outside the window. Love me. Like, bro. Oh my God. He put his dick in crazy. And that's probably what it was, man. Yeah, he took her virginity or something, and she was just obsessed at that point. You know what I mean? She was just like, no other penis will ever satisfy me. There's no other man for me but you. Like, dude, wildness. Absolutely wildness. All right. Jeez. Woo. What is one of the creepiest things you have seen a boyfriend or girlfriend do? All right. Not a boyfriend, but some guy saying he loves me and he's going to kill himself if I leave him after 2 dates. Also in high school, my friend was dating this creepy girl who would fake passing out from taking Advil for attention, sat there continuously taking pictures of him, called him 7 times in 5 minutes when he didn't answer, just all around creepy / annoying behavior. He broke up with her at my house, then left. I was pissed about that, so I'm sitting in my room with her watching Beetlejuice, and she gets this really creepy look on her face and says, I'm not going to let him break up with me. It's just not going to happen. The fuck? Imagine like hearing that. I'd be like, bro, you're cooked. You're cooked. You're going to die. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you are cooked. You're going to die. And basically just went on a long monotone rant like that with the creepiest expression ever on her face until I was like, oh shit, I totally have something to do, and sped to drive her home. Yeah, I would drive her home too. I probably wouldn't even drive her home. I would try to get her a ride share. I'd be like, yeah, I got you a ride home. You get the fuck out of my house. I'm like, bro, nah. She's over here just like, I'm not going to let your friend break up with me. That's not going to happen. It's just not. I'm going to make sure that he stays with me forever. And if he doesn't, I will make sure that I collect just enough of his blood to the point where he can't think straight anymore. And then I will donate that blood so that way I can take us out on a date to the money that I get from his plasma donation. And he will just be there, pale-faced, on our date. You know, I'd imagine like the shit she was saying to her, you know, the crazy rhetoric coming out of her mouth. You're just like, what the fuck? Yeah, you need to go home. You need to go home, my friend. You're cooked. Yeah, the moment like she gets out of my car and goes home, I'd call that nigga, hey bro, you're cooked. You're cooked. This girl is going to fucking kill you. Like, you need to get a restraining order a fucking sap, bro. Because there ain't no way. Ain't no way. I ain't gonna lie to you, though. I bet those kind of girls, woo, they got the craziest coochies. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I guarantee you it's why a lot of these dudes got in these relationships with these crazy chicks who are just madly obsessive and just wild like that. But I guarantee you the walls were wild. Man, I bet you he ain't ever felt sensations like that on his penis. He was just like, yo, I ain't ever jizzed so much. You know what I mean? But then, you know, you got to deal with the craziness on the outside of all that. But, you know, it's like, because I guarantee you a lot of these dudes broke up with these girls, but then they're just like, you know, I'll break the I'll break the restraining order, you know, to get some of that crazy coochie, you know what I mean? And you let her in the house, like, hey, you know, come on in, it's all good. And she's just like, what about the restraining order? Like, well, you know, we can break it for a few hours. Like, it'd be all right. You know what I mean? Bust your nut and be like, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Oh, I can so see these dudes doing that. I could so see it. You know what I mean? Because they know that's the reason why they got in these relationships with these crazy chicks. Like, these chicks don't just become crazy. They're like that the whole time. You know what I mean? They're obsessive and crazy like that the whole fucking time. There's no way, you know what I mean? They start dating this girl and then all of a sudden she's upset. Nah. She's like that, and that's just her personality. But you put your dick in crazy and you was like, ooh, this is nice. This is some tightness I ain't ever felt. You know, like, come on, man. Let's keep hundo P. Let's be real around here. Okay, you know what I mean? It's all good. I would too. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't better than nobody. Shit. I'd probably break that restraining order too. Like, hey, you know, you out front my house anyway. You just in the bushes. Like, you know what I mean? The coochie's just right there. So, hey, come on in real quick. Hey, come on in. We'll do, you know, we'll break it, you know, for a little bit, for a couple hours, and pop on some Netflix. You know what I mean? That post-nut clarity come in quick though. You know, you'd be like, oh shit, what did I do? Oh, you know what I mean? You'd be trying to get her out of the house as quick as possible. She'd be wanting to stay. She's like, no, just give me a shirt. Give me something. You know? You'd have to fucking throw clothes at her to get her out of the house. Like, god damn. But that's going to go ahead and be the end of that thread. I'm going to end it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. Who y'all be dating? And where y'all be finding these crazy people? You know, I'm just asking for a friend, you know, like just asking for research purposes, you know, where y'all be finding these crazy people, you know, these crazy girls at, yeah, because, you know, again, research purposes, that's all I'm saying, yeah. But if you guys have a crazy story of something you guys have gone through or seen and a crazy ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, let your boy know down in the comments. I'd love to hear you guys' stories and get involved in the thread. But today is the free Patreon Day episode for December. My goodness, we have a whole year's worth now of free Patreon episodes. That is 12 full episodes for you guys. This is technically the 13th because in June we did 2, so technically you guys get 13 of them. But yeah, we have a whole year's worth of free Patreon Day episodes for you guys. So yeah, man, if you guys are enjoying the content and you love more of this type of stuff and you love what we're doing and you just want that extra episode, you're like, there's not going to be a Sunday episode this week, you know, and you want that extra third episode, man, get on the Patreon. $3 a month, get you that exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenarios to be featured on the Tuesday and Thursday shows, as well as the free Patreon episodes. And so, yeah, man, get in there. I feel like it's good value. It helps out the show in a, you know, tremendous way. But, you know, if you're a free 99 guy, it's all good. I got you. Just keep downloading if you're an audio listener. Give us rate us 5 stars if you haven't already, and then follow us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. Man, it helps out a lot. And guess what, baby? It's for free. All right. So appreciate all the support you guys have been showing, especially on the Haunting Adeline episodes. You guys are loving the Haunting Adeline episodes for you guys. I've been cranking them out every Thursday for you, and my goodness, is Haunting Adeline juicy, man. Woo! I can't wait, you know, for every Thursday to come around, because boy, does it get juicy. All right. So without further ado, though, let's get into today's scenarios. And man, we got some pretty good ones. This first one is, am I wrong for wanting my ex back, even though I was the one who left?
Bruh.
You're stupid. All right. I had so many reasons which to led me ending the relationship. I was not perfect, acted in a lot of ways that I was not proud of. She was not perfect either. I felt like she didn't love me as much as I loved her. Now, 5 months later, I realized that she's the only one who showed me what to have an emotional connection really means. Most of my relationships have been purely superficial, based on sex. I didn't really feel that deeply. I've dated many people, and she's the second girl after my first love that I have been this hurt for. I have not been able to forget her. I ended it, but I was always trying to get her attention. When she gave me attention, I pushed her away. I was scared. I thought she deserved better because I felt she wasn't happy with me. She didn't reach out again. Within 5 months, she's all I think of. I tried talking to others, but I just couldn't get her out of my mind. I'm going crazy with thoughts of her. I also had so much financial trouble due to being in college, and she still accepted me even though we didn't really go on any dates. She got me so annoyed sometimes because she was so sensitive and emotional. I wasn't mature enough and and isn't know how to deal with it. Okay. Anytime she was mad at me, she would shut down for days. She wasn't perfect, but for some reason I can't forget her. I was her first relationship. I just didn't feel good enough, so I pushed her away. I still won't give excuses for my imperfections. I kept acting and posting shit of social media after the breakup that pushed her away even more. I told her I wanted to move on and find better, and last month she told me off and cut me off, but she had been ignoring me for months after the first time she reached out. I want to reach out, but I don't know how to go about it. I reached out to her friend and expressed how I felt. Her friend told me she will talk to her, but I haven't heard anything back from the friend. What should I do? You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go, my guy. Trust me, I was in the same position. I was in the same position this year. Me and my fiance, we had broke up, and then we kind of got back together for a little bit, and then she ended it. And for me, I was just like, I tried to be accepting of it and move on and talk to other girls and stuff, but it's one of those things where you just kind of get a feeling of like, damn, these other chicks that I'm talking to and all that kind of stuff, they don't give a fuck about me the way that she does, the way that she did. They don't care. The effort's not there. You know what I mean? And then you think back to like your previous relationship and you're like, damn, it wasn't perfect, but fuck, at least she loved me. At least she cared about me. At least, the effort was there. At least when I would put in, I would get back, because that's how it is when you find that person that you're like, damn, I want to be with, but you kind of feel things being a little rocky. Your situation is obviously different because you ended it and now you want her back. But if I'm being honest with you, man, you got to get over it and just let it go, because honestly, she's at a point where she's like, dude, I had to go through so much tough, emotions and heartache and all this stuff to get past these feelings with you, and you want to bring it all back in me and stuff like that. And she's probably at a point where she's like, dude, I don't want to go through that again. You know what I mean? I don't want to go through this. I got these feelings for you and all of this. And then you feel like, you're not good enough and you want to do better and this and that. And, you just kind of put her through too much to the point where she feels like, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it with you anymore. I'm absolutely done. And I know because I went through it. You know what I mean? I did the same thing. I reached out, months later and being like, oh, I miss you, this and that, blah, 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 that moment of weakness. And, she reached back and was just like, look, I can't do it with you anymore. Our relationship was great for when we had it, but now I think it's just time to move on, and I can't really put more emotions back into that and start that all over again. And it sucks, dude. It hurts. You know what I mean? But I think this is a good sign that you need to kind of be single, work on yourself, focus on you and your goals and passions in life and all that kind of stuff. And that's where you got to go, because I'm telling you, that's what I had to do. You know what I mean? I had to do that. I had to focus on it. I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to get harder in the gym. I'm going to focus on work. I'm going to focus on my hobbies like this, and I'm just going to busy myself. You know what I mean? Absolutely busy myself. You know what I mean? And honestly, man, in those like times of silence and you're just kind of, by yourself or whatever, and you're kind of thinking about her, I'm telling you, man, beat your meat, bro. It's just, you know what I mean? When you're feeling lonely and you're just like, man, I miss her so much. You know what I mean? Whip out the hub, bro. Beat that meat and get back to work, brother. You know what I mean? Hey, it's the way it is sometimes, it's the way. And don't get me wrong, if you want, you could even get on some dating apps and try to have, some like little conversations here and there. But I get it. That kind of stuff is unfulfilling, because even I'm the same way. You know what I mean? The few little conversations I've had here and there on dating apps and with other girls, it just don't feel the same. You're just like, you know what I mean? It sucks because you're trying to put, something into it. And it sucks because when you put into it. You're not really getting anything back from the girl. And so you're just like, what's the fucking point? You know, you kind of get to that point where you're just like, dude, what's the point? Like, who cares? This girl doesn't give a fuck about me anyway. You know, she's probably got 1,000 other dudes that she's talking to. Like, who cares? You know, and it sucks. It sucks when you're in that position, and it's tough, but you just gotta power through it. You gotta power through it and move on. It's not gonna be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but you can do it. You know what I mean? If I'm doing it, you can do it. And I'm sure there's thousands of other people. You know, there's somebody watching this right now. They're just like, facts, brother. I'm in the same position, you know, or even a girl in the same position. You know what I mean? Like, you know, she broke up with some dude and he moved on, and she's like, fuck, I want to, you know, be with him again. Like, you never know. It happens, but you're not alone. You know what I mean? You're not alone. So, yeah. Whoo, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, brother. All right, on to our next one. You let me know what you think about that one in the comments, though. All right, I was planning to throw her a birthday party and found out she cheated on me. Damn. Right in the heart, brother. All right. Never thought it could happen to us. We were in an amazing and happy relationship. This new year would have marked 3 years of our relationship, and she has... and she has birthday on 9th January too. Okay. Goddamn, nigga. English. All right. And her birthday is on the 9th of January. I was planning to surprise her and accidentally saw some Snapchat notifications on her phone. Woo! We already know the Snapchat is the red flag, man. Goddamn. Yeah. The red flag, brother. Red flag number 1 right there. Is the fact that she's got Snapchat. She was talking to multiple men over the course of months and inviting someone home too when I wasn't there. Shattered me right away. I cannot believe it's over. It all happened yesterday, and I don't know if I can survive. Oh, brother. Damn. That's gotta suck. Like, just the fact that you think the relationship is just all fine and dandy and everything is hunky-dory. You're like, yo, this is great. I'm having a good time. Everything is amazing, you know, and then all of a sudden, just your world crashes down. And see, that's why for me, a big thing is a girl not having Snapchat. If I'm being real with you, I look at it like, if you have Snapchat, you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. Let's keep it hundo P. I ain't gonna lie to you. Snapchat means you doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, because I've seen it far too many times just in this show alone, and even Friends, where Snapchat is the biggest cheating app, whether it's a girl to a guy or it's a guy to a girl. You know, that's the app right there. I look at it like, don't get me wrong, Instagram, you know, I kind of give a pass on, because I'm like, you know, cheating happens on Instagram, sure, but it's not as prevalent as it is on Snapchat, because, you know, the messages go away and all this, and you have kind of plausible deniability of like, oh, well, I mean, you know, we haven't been talking really that much, blah, 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 we don't talk like that, you know what I mean? And then, you know, you can be sending pictures and all that kind of stuff, because imagine your girl sending, you know, some scantily clad, you know, underwear pics to this other guy. Like, dude, she probably was. The fact that homeboy was in you guys' home, he was pounding your girl in your bed. Oh, yeah, man. We'll see you in the gym, my guy. We will see you in the gym. Fuck. Don't go back to her, though. Ooh, don't go back to her, because if you go back to her, man, you're cooked. It's shit. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, though. God, am I wrong? My 2 best friends dated and broke up and blame me for it. Oh, shit. Okay. So me, 18 female, my two best friends started dating. They dated for about 7 months, and with 4 months being long distance. Last year over Christmas, I went over to the guy's house with some other friends. Let's call him Joe, male 17. So when I went to Joe's house, we were all chatting and everything was fine. He then started talking about his girlfriend and my best friend. Let's call her Jane, 19 female. So Joe tells us all that he and Jane are planning to... Oh, what? So Joe tells us all that he and Jane are planning to break up after Christmas because they don't want to do long distance anymore. However, Joe admits that he wants to break up with Jane now. He says that he's sick of her and just wants them to end it. He then brings up a photo of another girl and tells us that he wants to try and sleep with this girl before he goes back to university. We all tell him that's a shitty thing to do, and we laugh it off and move on. Later, Jane and another friend show up, and we enjoy the night chatting and watching movies. I didn't feel good about what he said, but I'm not sure what to do as they are both my friends. About 2 days later, I go out with Jane and two other friends. We go to a club, and we're all drinking and having fun. At some point in the night, I mentioned that Joe said some things about Jane a couple nights ago while she wasn't there. Jane questions me, and I end up telling her what Joe said. As I feel like I'm in an awkward position, she immediately starts crying and texting him angrily to break up. I feel bad. A couple days later on Christmas Eve, Joe calls me while I'm with my family and asks me what happened. I told him the events from my perspective about how he told us he wanted to sleep with another girl before he went back to university. He tells me that never happened.
Stop the cap.
Come on, man. And tells me that I'm lying. I'm not sure what to say because I'm absolutely sure the other two guys that were present for that conversation even back me up. And I admit that he said that. He doesn't care and he is upset with me. Joe invites me to a Christmas party where I'm with Jane and Jane tells me not to go. I agree that I won't go, but I end up going to another party with Joe a few days later. Jane is mad at me for doing this. Joe goes back to university and things settle down and seem more normal. Jane and I don't speak for a while. 2 months later in February, I go on a trip with Jane and some other friends. We are drinking one night and Jane asks to borrow my phone. She proceeds to text Joe a picture of both of us with the caption, "Have our babies." She laughs it off, but I don't feel comfortable with that. With what she sent to Joe. Joe calls Jane and is upset, and they yell at each other for a couple of minutes before she hangs up. I feel upset because neither of them will talk to me about the situation, and I'm feeling conflicted in mine and their actions. I'm not sure if I'm in the wrong or them or all of us. I don't think you're in the wrong just because you heard what Joe said, and then you told Jane what he said. He got mad because he got outed, and I think what it was is things weren't solidified with this other girl that he wanted to sleep with. And so, I think it was a thing where what he wanted to do was hold on to Jane until he cracked this other girl. And then once he cracked this other girl, he's like, cool, now that I've sunken my dick in this other girl and things are, pretty solidified with her, now I can go to Jane. Hey, yo, ain't trying to be with you no more, baby girl. It's over. And then he can kind of go be with this girl until he leaves for university. But I think what kind of happened is the girl that he was like, oh yeah, I want to fuck, they probably, that didn't happen, or it didn't fall through the way he wanted it to. So then he probably changed his mind and was just like, well, I guess I'll just keep Jane, but not knowing that this girl is telling Jane that he wanted to crack that girl. And so now homegirl is just like, oh, well, I want to break up with you right now then if you want to go crack homegirl. And he's like, wait, no, what the fuck? I didn't say that, blah, 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 blah. And so then, he's pointing the blame at her because obviously she was the one that told Jane. And so, I think it's a bit of, him being a fucking gaslighting little asshole, if I'm being real with you. And, he's gaslighting her into believing that he didn't say that. And he's gaslighting Jane into believing like, oh, no, I didn't want to break up with you. I never said that. What the fuck? What's going on? So I think personally he's gaslighting both y'all bitches because he didn't get to crack homegirl. Now, like I said, if he would have got to crack homegirl, he would have just gotten rid of Jane right then and there. And that would have been that. He would have been kicking it with that girl until he went to university. But, and then the fact that her and Jane, I think it was a thing where Jane kind of believed the fact that he didn't say that, you know what I mean? And she may have said to the girl like, oh, like, what the fuck? I can't believe he would say that, blah, 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 and then she calls him, oh, I want to break up because let's call this girl, I don't know, Stacy or whatever. Stacy told me that, you want to sleep with this other girl, blah, 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 blah. Oh, what? I didn't say that. No, I don't know what she's talking about, blah, blah, blah. And so she feels like, whoa, Stacy's out here lying to me to get me to break up with this dude. Like, what's going on here, And so then she's just like, wait, no, hold up. Hey, no, Joe, tell her what you said. You said that shit at the party. I know you did. Your other two friends, Jacob and Jonathan, they back me up, right? And Jacob and Jonathan are like, yeah, we heard you say that, dog. You said you wanted to crack. You showed us a picture of her and everything, man. Like, Stacy's right, bro. You said you wanted to get rid of Jane anyway, though. Like, man, what the fuck's up with that? And he's like, nah, dog. I just, things didn't work out with old girl, so, I wanted to keep Jane for a little bit until I go to university. You know what I mean? Now I can bust me a few more nuts, And I think that's the whole situation. And that's how this is transpiring. I personally don't think you're in the wrong at all. I don't think Stacy's in the wrong at all. I think dude is in the wrong for gaslighting both of them, because he's got Stacy and Jacob and Jonathan over here talking about, no, nigga, you said that. Yeah, you said that. You showed us pictures, everything, Yeah, and then you got Jane over here and she's just like not knowing who to believe because she's like, that's my man's, but that's my friend. You know what I mean? And my friend's telling me something. I don't think she would tell me something if it ain't true, but then that's my man's and I want to believe and back my man's, because that's my man's. So it's like she's kind of stuck in a conundrum where she's between a rock and a hard place. Stacy's like, what the fuck? I told you the truth. This nigga's gaslight. This nigga was just playing, shuffleboard in the background, you know what I mean? Because he out here, things, he was trying to get this girl, so he was trying to shuffle Jane out the way so he could get this girl, but then this girl didn't work out, so then he was like, well, let me go ahead and shuffle you back out the way and shuffle Jane back in, but obviously the homeboys and Stacy, they didn't get the memo in this, so then they're like, oh shit. Like, and he's like, oh, fuck, now I gotta pick up the pieces, you know what I mean? And try to be like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, just, no, this girl, no, I ain't trying to crack her, no, I don't know who she is, I don't know, I don't know who that chick is, you know what I mean? She was just some random girl I had on my phone. I was drunk, I was fucking around, like, lying, is what we do. So, I think that's what's going on. I don't think you're in the wrong at all because you just told your friend the truth. And I think Joe is the one that's in the wrong because he's the one that's trying to get everybody else to corroborate with his story and believe him. And it sucks because, obviously, if everybody believes Joe, then it makes you look like an asshole. But if everybody believes her, believes Stacy, then it makes Joe look like an asshole. So, you know what I mean? There's not a win-win because either Stacy or Joe has to look like an asshole in this. And I think it's Joe personally. I think it's Joe that's being an asshole because Stacy has no reason to lie to her friend Jane. She's got no friend. There's no reason. And then Jacob and Jonathan are backing her up. So it's like, because they heard it at the party. You know what I mean? He was showing everybody this girl on his phone. Like, oh, yeah, I'm trying to fuck this girl, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on, man. Like, the proof's in the pudding right here. The only one that doesn't know and that didn't see the, photo and wasn't at the party at that time was Jane. So it's like, all three of us are saying the same thing. Like, Jane, who are you going to believe? I get it. That's your man's, but, your man's is out here capping, I'm just saying. So, you guys let me know what you think about that one. Hopefully my breakdown made sense. It was a lot of moving parts in this, but hopefully it made sense. Rewind it a couple times, maybe to get the gist. But yeah. So, all right, on to our next one. Wait, no, what are you doing? Okay, cool. All right, on to our next one. Am I wrong for maybe wanting to leave my boyfriend? Why do you want to leave your boyfriend? All right. Hey y'all, so basically I'm a 20 female and my boyfriend is a 19 male. We've been together for a little over 2 years now. When I first met him, he was really quiet and shy and I didn't think much of it. I needed to initiate conversation and all the steps after, so we finally got into a relationship. He did become more open to me and talks to me nonstop now. He has friends in the beginning, but he kept on canceling all our meetings with them so he could be with me even more. Yeah, or even though I encouraged him to go with them. So he would cancel plans with his friends so he could hang out with her even more, even though she was just like, nah, it's all good. You can go. Don't worry about it. Okay, understandably, they stopped reaching out to him. Facts, because they're like, this nigga doesn't ever want to hang out with us, so why are we going to invite him? Facts. All right, he also avoids his family at all costs and doesn't want to talk to them either. With his mom and dad, I would understand, but his sister is the sweetest person alive and tries to find interests so they could do something together. He now almost only talks to me. I encourage him to get friends, but he says he doesn't want new friends because he has me. When we're together, he's also really happy and cooks something for me. He tries to make me comfortable at his home. However, we only ever just sit in his room and watch something or play a game. We only go out when I arrange something. Already in the beginning, he got upset / sad as I wanted to meet with my friends without him, and he needed reassurance every 30 minutes that I still love him and that I'm okay. I wanted to go on a 5-day girls trip somewhere, and he guilted me into letting him go too. When I want alone time, he becomes extremely sad and again asks me every 30 seconds if I am mad at him or if I love him, while I really just need alone time sometimes. I also notice how depressed he actually was after a few months in. He wouldn't have the energy to make himself food or anything really, and just has hurt himself sometimes during the relationship. He only seems to be happy when I'm around. He becomes depressed instantly when I need to leave. He's really mentally unstable, and when he vents, he only vents to me because he doesn't want to talk to other people. It's been really draining me. It really feels like I'm dating a toddler sometimes because of how dependent he is on me. Needs me to tell him to drink, to eat, to please make a doctor's appointment, and to please clean his room for once. He still lives with his parents, so the only responsibility he's having is his room and his bathroom next to his room, which he also hasn't cleaned in ages, so I did because I felt disgusted showering there. I have stopped feeling any desire for intimacy and closeness to him, as it's been gnawing at him as well. I don't feel the love for him anymore as I did before. I rather feel bad leaving him because I am scared he'd do something to himself because I'm seemingly his only line of happiness. I understand most of that behavior is probably because of depression, but I don't think I can handle all of this much longer. I keep distancing myself. He notices, tells me that he brings me closer to him again. He also pressures me quite a lot into move out with him, which I don't want to. Otherwise, he's an okay boyfriend when I'm with him. He cooks me food and buys me snacks and gives me a massage and tries to take care of me. But the other things are too much. I honestly don't even know how to break up with him. You just got to do it. Homeboy is smothering. He is smothering you. And I understand why you don't feel the love for him anymore and you just don't feel an attachment to him anymore, because you don't ever get a chance to miss the motherfucker. You guys are always together and he's always, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you still love me? Are you mad at me? Like, bro, you know what I mean? And then she looks at it like, bro, you're not a man. You know what I mean? You're like you're a very dependent little child, you know, and I have to fucking take care of you. It's like, you're not even my boyfriend. You are my kid. You know what I mean? And so with that, it's like, bro, she's just absolutely done. And you know what I mean? He's just smothering. And I get it. He's a good guy. But I don't think that him being a good guy is enough for you to stay. Because there's just so much else going wrong with that relationship. And it's just like, dude, that it's only going to get worse. You're only going to resent him more. You know, it's going to get to a point where you don't even feel like you're going to be in a relationship at that point. You're going to be like, dude, I don't even have a boyfriend anymore, you know? And it's going to drive you to talk to other dudes and cheat on him and all that kind of stuff. You might as well just let him go so that way you can. I get it. He's going to pull the, oh, I'll kill myself card. And he's going to pull the, oh my God, I can't live without you and this and that. But, you know, you talk to his parents and you let him know, hey, look, you know, your son is a bit much and he's kind of smothering and I just can't do this relationship with him anymore. And, you know, I know that when I break up with him, he's going to kind of, you know, want to end his life and he's going to want to do that. So if you guys can watch over him and make sure, you know, he's good and, you know, he gets through this breakup, then that would be much appreciated. And you break up with him and you leave. He's going to be sending you all the texts. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm going to do this. But don't feel bad because you did the right thing. You told his parents to look out for him and, you know, to watch over him, stuff like that, that he's no longer your responsibility. What he does is up to him at that point. You know, do not feel bad. And I always tell girls this because they feel like, oh, if I leave him and he says he's going to kill himself, I'm going to feel bad because it's my fault and I did it. And it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. That's not your fault. You know what I mean? You did what was right for you. And I look at it like as long as you talk to the people that he's close to and you let them know that, hey, you know what I mean? This is what's going to happen. I know he's going to act this way. Can you please look out for him? You know what I mean? Because that's all you can do, and that's in that situation. And I've said it multiple times in multiple episodes that that's what you just got to do. You know what I mean? And you got to just go. And you know what I mean? Find you a dude who's a real man. Let's be honest here. You know, a nigga that's going to set the dates up for you. You know what I mean? He's going to be he's going to have that dominance and assertiveness towards you to where you kind of feel, you know, safe and protected and, you know, planned out and thought about. And, you know what I mean? Instead of this dude who just wants to sit in his room all day with you and play games and, you know, be on your phones and watch movies. Like, trust me, that's not a relationship, man. That's not. That shit's just whack. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I get it. You're tolerating it now. You're very young, so you really don't know. But I'll guarantee you, you know, date you a guy that's maybe 2 years older than you or something like that. You know, he's got a good little job. He's doing his thing. And trust me, you're going to see the massive difference between that guy and the next guy. You're going to be like, whoa, holy shit. You know what I mean? And he might lay that dick down. Just saying. You know what I mean? Just saying. Get you some, girl. You know what I mean? All right. This is going to be our last scenario for today's free Patreon Day episode. Hope you guys have gotten this far into the episode. And if you have, I appreciate you, love you, enjoy you. Again, this is the free Patreon Day episode. If you want episodes like this and you're, you know, craving that extra episode and you're like, damn, there's no episode on the Sunday, don't worry, man. Patreon has got you. There is an entire year's worth of cataloged episodes on Patreon. They're just waiting for you. All right. Waiting for you guys to just binge all the juiciness. I mean, there's so many crazy scenarios going on in there. There's so many crazy threads we've gone over the years in the Patreon. $3 a month get you that exclusive episode, man. And you get priority to sending in your scenarios to be featured on the show, to be featured on Tuesdays and Sunday shows. So get in there, man. It's only $3 a month. It helps out a lot. And yeah, I appreciate all of the support. If you're a free 99 person, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, as well as the HooTubes, you know, and then keep downloading the podcast as well as rating it 5 stars. All right. Appreciate you guys. Let's get into the last scenario for today. Is cheating a thing in situationships? All right, let's see. So, I had been in a situationship with a guy for almost a month. We did not commit to each other or take it seriously. We were just going with the flow. I did kind of like him, not love him, but I knew that he was texting bullshit just to kill time and for the thrill of it. So I didn't tell him it's over now, but recently I've just been thinking about what I did in the past and all I can recall the things I did while I was in a situationship with that guy. I had a real problem then, and it was that I used to get I had a real problem then, and it was that I used to get super, I hate to use this word, but horny. I'm glad I don't feel like that as often as I used to now. It was a dark period of my life. Now I used to feel like that while I was with that guy, and I used to sex multiple random dudes on Discord to satisfy myself and shit. Would that be considered as cheating? I know that it's a stupid question and I sound fucking terrible and weird, but I would be so thankful if anyone took the time to think about this and give me their honest opinion, because I am so damn caught up in this. Okay, so you were talking to this dude. You guys were hooking up, but you weren't dating. You guys weren't official, nothing like that. You guys were just hooking up, but on the side, you were up in the Discord diddling to some dudes, you guys messaging back and forth. I mean, I wouldn't even think that that's really cheating, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if I was the guy that you were actually fucking, and then I heard that you kind of diddling yo shit to like other dudes in Discord, personally, I wouldn't be all that mad, just because like I'm hitting and they're not. They're just, rubbing and tugging to her words. You know what I mean? It's like I'm actually, getting up in them walls while they're just kind of rubbing and tugging, and then her and I aren't really an official thing, and then if I do get mad, it's like, well, I should have made it official, you know what I mean? I should have made it into something instead of just keeping it casual, because obviously eventually she's going to get to a point where she's just like, I don't really see this going anywhere, and leave, or she's going to be like, yo, hey, what are we? I think every situationship gets to that point eventually. You can prolong it as long as you want. It could be, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, you can prolong it as long as you want, but there's going to be a point where one or the other person is going to be like, yo, what is this? Are we going to make this into something or not? While, obviously the other person is kind of just sleeping with them, but also doing other stuff with other people, So it's like, I think in the modern age of the whole situationship thing, that's just normal. Yeah, and you can't really get mad, It's like, bro, make it official then. Take her off the market. You know what I mean? I really wouldn't want to be putting a girl, I wouldn't want to date a girl who is kind of doing that, personally. Because I look at it like, even if we're in a situationship, if I would, I don't know. It's just me personally. If I'm in a situationship with a girl, you know what I mean? I kind of look at it like this is a almost exclusive thing, like I would be kind of exclusive to her, just because it's like, I would want the situation to kind of roll into a relationship. But if I know that you're kind of doing stuff with other guys, I'm not going to roll the situationship into a relationship. I would just look at it like, oh, okay, cool. That's where this is going. Cool. No problem. No biggie. And I would just wait for her to kind of break it off. But if it's a thing where I find out that she's not talking to anybody else and we're in this situationship, then yeah, I would roll the situationship into a relationship. And that's kind of how I think of it. But I don't know. I would say more people think of a situationship as like casual as fuck. I get to go see other people. I think that would just be the majority. I feel like I would technically be in the minority just because I don't really think that's how people date anymore. They don't really like, oh yeah, I'm seeing this person, you know what I mean? And I'm only seeing them until it either becomes a relationship or it goes separate ways. I think a lot of people kind of like, oh, I'm seeing this person, but I'm also talking to this person, and like I was talking to this person, but I stopped talking to them, you know what I mean? Because I'm like hanging out with this person, but I'm talking to this person. And that's kind of how I feel dating works nowadays. And it sucks, but I mean, fuck, what can you do? You know what I mean? You got to play the game at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. Personally, like I said, to your question, is it cheating? Nah. Because that's just the way situationships are nowadays. You know what I mean? And you weren't really looking for a relationship with this dude anyway. And it's very obvious because, you were flicking the bean, to other dudes on Discord. So it's like, did you really want to be in a relationship with this guy? I don't think so, so, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, you might want to take the L on that one and just kind of be like, cool, be done with him, be done with the Discord boys, stop being the Discord kitten and get you a man, and start being serious with the guy. Because obviously you had mentioned that, you was a bit horny, and that's why this situation happened, and that's why you were being a Discord kitten. And so since you were doing all that, now that you're kind of past the horny time in your life and you kind of want a man. Yeah, I would say just find your dude, focus on him, you know what I mean, and try to cultivate a relationship. But, that's just my shitty, unlicensed advice. But that's going to go ahead and be today's episode, man. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Patreon Day episode. Love you guys so much. Appreciate all the support that you guys have been showing the show over the past year. And I want to say and a half by now, right? It'd be August, October, November, almost. It's been about a year and 4 months. So almost a year and a half we've been doing this show, and you guys have been showing a lot of support, and I do appreciate it. I love when I see the downloads going up. I love when I see you guys interact in the comments. I love when I see, the TikTok clips. You guys enjoy those, as well as Instagram clips, and you guys start following and, interacting with the show. Appreciate it all. It's amazing. So love you guys all. I will see you on Tuesday for another beautiful episode that we got lined up for you, and I will see you then. Love you all, and peace.